Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Zavi, and I'm so happy that you're here. So, this YouTube channel is going to be all about testimonies, Christian videos, informationals, anything that you can think of. It's going to be right here on this channel. So I need you guys to click that like button, subscribe if you like this content, and let's just go ahead and get started with this video. So let's start this video from the beginning, like the beginning, before I was even born. My dad is from Louisiana and my mom is from Trinidad. And if you know anything about those two places, the Caribbean and the Bayou, and you know what combines them all? They have people who do witchcraft. So in my little mind, my 6, 7, 8-year-old mind, I was like, oh, we're witches. Like, that's so cool. y'all, y'all, who would have ever thought that little thought in my brain that day would be, it would literally start a whole, 20-year journey. Okay, so I thought that I was a witch. I thought that I can do voodoo easily because, where my parents are from. So it all started with crystals. My friend went to Panama and she brought me back a crystal. And it was my very first crystal that I ever had. It was beautiful. It was a rainbow quartz. And I was like, oh, I'm going to keep this forever. Like, it was my favorite thing. And people would be like, that's a rock. And I'd be like, no, it's a crystal. Thank you very much. So I was so obsessed with crystals. I literally had a bunch. I would literally be digging in the dirt looking for crystals, aka rocks. And I had a whole collection of them. So with that obsession, I started learning about people. I always wanted to know more about people, like how they were, how they acted outside of school. So I literally printed out a template of different questions, like your age, your favorite color, your favorite food, just random questions. And I would literally pass it out to my friends, pass it out to strangers, anyone who I wanted to get to know, I would pass it out to them. And for the most part, they would always fill it out. And I was just obsessed with learning about people, and that actually led me to astrology. Now, I was really big in astrology. I could literally tell you my sun sign, my moon sign, my rising sign, my Venus sign, my Juno sign, literally anything I could tell you. And I was just so obsessed with it because I was like, instead of having to pass all these templates out so people can sign it, I can just ask them when their birthday was and what time they were born, and boom, I have all the information I needed to know about who they were. And it was just like I had all of my friends' personalities at my fingertips. I can literally type in when they were born and what time they were born, and I could figure out, oh, this is going to happen to you in 5 or 6 years. This is going to happen to you. Oh, you're not going to be able to get pregnant. Oh, you're going to get a divorce. Like, I was that deep into astrology. And just thinking about it now, I was crazy. Like, I was literally so consumed by a demon that I didn't even realize it. So, astrology, I'm really into that. Next, I'm into tarot cards. The little cards and tells you your future. Yeah, I got into that. Tarot cards were my decision making. Every time I would make a video, anytime I would make a life decision, not a video, every time I would make a life decision, I'll be flipping through my tarot cards. This is what you need to do. This is what I need to do. People would come to me and ask for tarot reading cards. Like, they would ask, like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen if I do this? And I would willingly give it to them. Like, oh, you have the Nine of Cups, which means you're gonna have amazing fortune. You have the Ten of Swords, which means somebody's gonna stab you in the back or something bad is gonna happen to you and you need to watch out behind your back. I even went as far as making a tarot YouTube video. Like, I made tarot videos for fun, like, because I wanted people to see what I can do and see that I can tell the future and all this other stuff. And it was just a mess. And I remember when I was pregnant, well, this was even before I was pregnant, I used to watch this girl, and she had a video about, like, if you have a baby, like, how's your baby gonna be? And she said that if you pick a specific crystal, then you get that specific deck of tarot cards. So I chose a crystal, and this deck of tarot cards said that I will have a baby, and at a young age, she will go through some type of trauma, um, some type of trauma. And with her going through that trauma, it will cause her to dislike her parents, and with her disliking her parents, she will have many friends, so many friends, to the point where she only needed her friends. She only needed her friends for anything. Like, she did not care for her parents at all. And I remember just being like, wow, like, this is gonna be my child's future, and that sucks. Like, I don't want anything like that to happen. And then I got pregnant, with my daughter, and everything happened. Everything happened that, well, I don't want to say everything happened because my daughter is only 2, but me and her dad separated, and at a point in time, I was just like, this tarot reading is going to come true. And I didn't have any way to stop it because I actually looked at the video again while I was pregnant, and I got the same answer. The same, I chose the same crystal unknowingly, and it was just, it was a mess. And I literally rebuke and bind anything from that video that I watched to be put on my daughter, because that's not going to happen. Because why? I follow God. I follow Jesus Christ, and Jesus will never let anything touch my household. So before y'all watch some tarot videos to think about your future, like, will you get married, will you get pregnant, how will your child be, do not watch it. Don't, because Satan is telling you those things. Like, y'all need to understand, like, tarot cards are no joke. Another story. I was trying to move. I have really bad impulse tendencies, and I was like, oh, I want to move. Like, I just woke up one day and I was like, I want to move. So got my tarot cards out. Should I move? Yes. Oh, cool, I should move. And I was like, okay, well, maybe, my tarot card skills are wrong. So I went to one of my friends. I was like, should I move? And she did her little tarot cards, and they said yes. And then I asked this girl that I followed on YouTube, I paid for a session, and she's like, yes, you should move. This is gonna be like the best thing for you. And I was like, boom, I'm moving. Packed my car. No, I didn't pack my car. I got a flight, and I went to Washington, D.C. I had got 2 jobs, and I was working 2 jobs, babysitting. And it was literally the best. But the only thing is, I didn't have anywhere to live. And the girl I was supposed to be living with, she wasn't moving out until October, and I think I got there in like September. And so I started living with this guy, and a lot of stuff happened with that guy. which will actually be another video. Um, a lot of stuff happened with that guy, and I was just fed up, so I had to move out. But I still had no place to live, so I actually stayed with one of the people that I was babysitting. I stayed with them for a week or so, but then I just felt like I was overstaying, so I left. And I had so much going on that they was like, I don't think you're a good fit. And I didn't think I was a good fit either, because I didn't even know where I was going to stay. I had 2 suitcases. And it was just like, where was I going? I didn't know where I was going. And I just remember sitting at, I can't remember the name of it, but um, it's like the big station in Washington, D.C. And I just remember sitting there with my bags. I was on the phone with my mom, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I was literally only there for 2 weeks, you guys. And I ended up coming back home. And I was like, okay, like that sucks, Like that was supposed to be my breakthrough. I was supposed to have a good time there, I was supposed to live there forever. But it didn't work. The next incident when I trusted tarot cards to move, I decided once again to just up and leave and go to Portland, Oregon, and shuffling my tarot cards. But this time, my tarot card said, no, don't go. And I'm like, excuse me, shuffled again. It kept saying no. It says something bad is going to happen if you go. And I'm like shuffling, like I'm going to get a proper answer. Like I'm going to go. And each time I did those tarot cards, it literally said no, not to go. But what did I do? I literally packed up my car. My mom decided to drive with me because it was a 24-hour drive from Georgia to Portland, Oregon. We drove, and it was cool. It was nice. Like my radio ended up burning out, but other than that, it was cool. We finally got there, and I was with some girl that I met on Twitter, and I love her. Like, shout out to her, you, if you're watching this video. But we were there, but I couldn't stay there forever. So as I was staying with her, I was looking for a roommate, and I found a roommate. So it was this Asian girl, and her friend was moving out, so I was able to take the room in her apartment. And I was able to transfer my job in Georgia to Portland. So I was like, okay, this is perfect. Like, I have my car, the radio might not work, but I have my car, I'm in my apartment, I have a job, y'all. When I tell you guys, Portland is racist, it's racist. And I don't know if it was just the area that I was in, but it was racist. The job that I was working, the job that I transferred to, nobody would talk to me. Only one lady would talk to me, and another black girl, she talked to me too. But none of the teachers would talk to me. None of the managers would talk to me. I remember standing outside for like 20 minutes just trying to get into the door because everyone was ignoring me. And I just felt like, why am I here? Like, I might as well just quit. And that's what I did. I quit. And I just remember going home, and I actually went for a walk. I went for a walk to a Witchcraft store, and I walked in and I saw these deck of cards, and I was like, oh, these are beautiful. And I grabbed them, and I was like, I want this. Like, I need it. Because I only had like 2 tarot cards, and I only bought one with me. So, sorry. So I ended up buying it. And I remember walking down the street on my way home or to my car or something like that. And I looked up and I saw the moon. And it was the very first time I ever saw the moon since I've been in Portland. And I was just like, this is an amazing night. I got some tarot cards. I saw the moon. Great. My roommate, the Asian girl, she said that this was during Christmas time. She said that she was going over her parents for Christmas for a week. And I was like, okay, that's fine, that's cool. So she took her cat because she had the cat with her. So she took her cat, and so it was just me by myself. So I remember taking some sage, and I was saging the entire apartment, and I literally deep cleaned her apartment for her because she was dirty. Um, and I was like, I had just quit my job, so I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna have enough money to pay my rent. So again, with my new deck of tarot cards, I'm shuffling, and I see. I'm sorry, you guys. I see a cheetah, and a cheetah means that you're leaving, you're going fast somewhere else. So I remember calling my mom, and I was like, "Hey, I'm moving home." And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah." And again, it was only 2 weeks since I've been there. And she was like, "Well, why are you moving home?" And I was like, "I can't pay my rent. I just quit my job, yada, yada, yada." And she was like, "Okay, well, I can give you the rent." And I was like, "No." I was like, "I'm coming home." And she was like, "Well, you're driving there by yourself, driving back home by myself, 24 hours. I was like, "What? Like, what?" And she's like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Okay." So I packed up my entire car. Um, I didn't have much stuff, so I really just packed up my clothes and, things of that nature, and everything that I had. And that night I saged my car, and I packed everything in the car really quickly. I left the key under the door, and I left. But that's a whole different story for a different day, like what happened as I was going home. So, actually, no, I'll tell it. So, to make a long story short, as I'm on my way home from Portland back to Georgia, I am listening to some music on my phone, and I'm speeding. I get a ticket. A cop pulls me over. I get a ticket for $1,000, y'all. $1,000 and some change. And within that time, I'm literally just yelling like, "I want to die, I want to die, I want to die." And I kept repeating it over and over. And, you know, as I'm driving, I'm literally sobbing. And, eventually I calm down, and I call my mom and tell her I got a ticket, and she's not as mad as I thought she was going to be. So, yeah. So, long story short, I never driven in snow before, and I think I was in like Wyoming or something like that. And it was a ledge on this side, a ledge on this side, and it was just a straight road. It was dark outside, it was nighttime, and my car slipped on black ice. I literally lost control of my car, and my car was literally just spinning in the middle of the road. It could either fall off on this side or that side. And the cars behind me, they were like, whoa, and they were stopping because I was ahead of them. And literally, like, I'm slamming my foot on the brakes, not knowing that I'm not supposed to do that. And I just remember hearing God say to let go of the brake. And I lift my foot off of the brake, and I stop right on the edge of the cliff that I could have fallen off on. And I'm like, wow, like literally life and death is in the power of the tongue. So you keep saying you want to die? No, say you want to live. Because that day I almost died because I got $1,000 ticket, and then I was talking about I want to die. I easily paid off that $1,000 ticket with a payment plan. And I'm talking about I want to die. But in hindsight, I didn't know that I can get a payment plan. I thought I had to pay all at once. I thought my mom was going to be mad, but she wasn't actually mad. And I am wishing death on myself because I'm thinking, oh, this is going to happen in the future. I don't know what I'm going to do. When God already worked that out for me. So yeah, that was that. And, I came home, and that's when I got into witchcraft. Now, witchcraft, witchcraft was a mess. It was a mess. I I was super obsessed with money spells, trying to get money because I was always broke. That broke mentality. I was always trying to get money. So I would constantly go on like voodoo websites, hoodoo websites, and get um, money spells, little money jars with money in it, with some sprinkles and some salt and a candle and yada, yada, yada. So I remember one day got it and I was like, oh, okay, it's not working per usual. And at that time, I was dealing with my child's father and his ex-wife, and that's a whole different story. I don't even know if I'll share that story, but yeah. So I was literally trying to unalive this person, and I was like, okay, like I know a place where I can get, voodoo and hoodoo like candles, like literally witchcraft candles that can kill someone. Can I say that on YouTube? Can unalive someone. um, and like I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I remember buying that candle, and it was this big black dark candle. I still remember what it looks like. It had a skull on it, and it literally, in words, it said death. And I remember the instructions were to light the candle, write who you want to unalive, put it under the candle, and let it burn for 5 days. I let it burn for 5 days. Sure enough, it didn't work. And I remember going to the lady who sold me the candle, and I was like, hello, like, it didn't work. And you know what she said to me? She said, because you have a good heart. And I was like, I don't want to have a good heart. I want to unalive this person. Like, they're making my life hard. And I just ended up throwing the candle away. And I just was like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm not even going to try it anymore. So after that, I don't think I did any more witchcraft, other than like some more money spells and stuff like that, because that stuff was expensive, but it didn't work. So I remember one day, this is after I had my daughter. I remember one day I was using my tarot cards, and then I just heard God say, put that stuff down. And I'm like, now I know I wouldn't say that because I'm using it. Like, why would I say that? But God was just like, put that stuff down. And I put it down. And I've never picked it back up again. And like, y'all, when I tell you guys, it's so freeing to be a child of God. It's not freeing to be a child of Satan, a believer in Satan, because Satan doesn't love you. He doesn't. Satan is trying to kill you at the end of the day. Satan does not love anyone but himself. And you doing all this witchcraft, you doing all this like crystals, and you're believing in crystals to heal you, and you're believing in these tarot cards and watching tarot videos. It doesn't do anything. It's not real. If it's not your time to go, you won't go. If you wish death over yourself, you will encounter a near-death experience. Watch what you say, because this stuff is not no fun and games. This stuff is real. People really do this stuff. I remember when I was in school, in high school, there was this girl. She was from Haiti, and people were picking on her. I can't remember why, but people were picking on her. And I remember one day she stood up in front of the class, and she was like, all of you guys who are talking about me, I'm gonna make a voodoo doll of you and make your life a living He double Hell. And she got suspended for saying that. But one thing I know for sure, that she really meant that. She really meant that. You don't know who is doing voodoo on you behind the scenes. You don't know who's doing witchcraft on you behind the scenes. Like, I was probably one of those people doing witchcraft on somebody else, but I knew what I was doing, but they didn't know what I was doing. And I'm just so thankful for God for bringing me out of that. I'm so thankful for God for bringing me out of that. Because who knows where I would be now if He didn't tell me to put down those tarot cards. And, months later, I get a message from this girl, and she's like, did that money spell work? And I'm like, what is she talking about? And she's like, you left a comment on this voodoo girl's page, talking about the money oil. And I was like, girl, I don't even believe in that anymore. I was like, no, it didn't work. And I don't believe in that. I believe in Jesus Christ. And she was like, oh, that's too bad. I was like, okay. And she tried to message me again, thinking like maybe I changed my mind or something. And I was just like, that's weird. But I just knew it was Satan trying to get me to come back. And I was like, no, I live for God. I may mess up, I may sin, but I will never leave God's side again. Not for Satan, no. Satan almost killed me. Why would I serve somebody who almost killed me? Make it make sense. So no. But that's my testimony. That is my testimony. And, I don't think I've ever shared that with, like, I've shared it with my friends, but I don't think I've ever shared it with someone online. So I just pray that whoever's watching this, they see that this is not of God. This stuff is not of God. You cannot serve two gods. You cannot be in astrology but claim to be a Christian. You cannot be doing tarot cards, watching tarot videos, and claim to be a Christian, especially astrology, because a lot of people are into astrology and they don't know how demonic it is. I'll probably make a video about that. But this is my testimony, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any other ideas on what you want me to talk about, just let me know in the comments. But make sure you guys like and subscribe. I love you guys so much. Comment down below how did you like this video? Like, what was your favorite part? What did you learn from this video? And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.